Hello team, welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. This is a US politics update, a sort of breaking news update concerning the Epstein scandal. Do you remember way back when, goodness me, when was it? Let's have a look at the date of this. It's the 17th of July that there was this scandal. The scoop came out in the Wall Street Journal, which is a Murdoch-owned paper that is otherwise has traditionally been very supportive of Trump. And it brought out this scoop that Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him a bunch of bawdy letters for his 50th birthday album that was bound together in a proper leather book, given to him for his 50th birthday present. And one of the notes or letters was from Donald Trump, and it supposedly included this kind of rough image of a naked woman and some text inside. This was highly controversial. Wall Street Journal was then threatened with legal action from Trump. He denied it. In fact, he formally denied it. Trump denies claims. He wrote the birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein and says he has ordered the release of more case files. Again, this is going back to July. Now, the letter was in the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, and it was then subsequently subpoenaed. And it turns out the House Oversight Committee has got hold of this letter now. It's been given to them by the estate, and they immediately, or at least the Democrats in the House Oversight Committee, immediately released the letter from Trump as a kind of like, see, told you type thing. And it's incredibly controversial. Now, remember that Donald Trump denied this formally and threatened with legal action. J.D. Vance came out and said, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit." I mean, this is what he said, the vice president. The Wall Street Journal, the WSJ, should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Now, they apparently approached Trump just before they were going live with the article. Trump denied it and said that he never draws and so on and so forth. And it all sounded rather like Prince Andrew saying he never sweats, so it couldn't have been him on the dance floor with etc. etc. So, okay, this was all highly controversial. It was not quite a flash in the pan, but a lot of controversy came out of this, and it disappeared with so much happening in the American political discourse and political landscape. So many things happening a day that it kind of went by the wayside more recently as the Epstein files scandal grew into a much bigger thing. And we kind of forgot almost that there was this bawdy letter from Trump as he's trying to distance himself from Epstein. Now, that letter is now out in the public. So Epstein birthday letter with Trump's signature has been released by the dead pedophile's estate. It says iNews here, Democrats in Congress have released a copy of the birthday note sent to Jeffrey Epstein that Donald Trump had previously said did not exist. Lawyers for Jeffrey Epstein's estate sent Congress a copy of the birthday book put together for the disgraced financier's 50th birthday, which includes a letter with a Trump signature. On Monday, House Oversight Committee members confirmed they have received a copy of the birthday book, which was sent to them after they subpoenaed it last month. The signed note says, well, in fact, let's read it as a whole here. So, this is quite the image for a couple of reasons. So, okay, first of all, it just says weirdly, and it's all center justified. It's centered, all this text. Voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Okay, so that the text itself was incredibly, arguably revealing, cryptic, weird. So they have commonalities, right? Him and Jeffrey, and this is all inside the image of a naked female. And I use the term female because we'll talk about that in a second. I could say woman, I could say girl. So they have these commonalities. He's talking about enigmas never age, and talk about, may a pal, a friend is a wonderful thing. So these two are friends, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Why is every day a secret, a wonderful secret? What's going on there? What's the secretive stuff that you have in common with Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump? So very weird, possibly very revealing, and possibly incriminating in some way. Now, all of that text is arranged in a way so it's wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and seems to align with the outline of a female body without the arms, with the arms sort of cut off, this hourglass shape. But weirdly, there are these two representations of breasts. But as I was listening to on the Pod Save America podcast, when they're talking about this, they're saying, I don't want to sound too weird here, but those representations of breasts are very small and very high up in a way that you wouldn't expect. If you were drawing a representation of a kind of maybe a sexualized woman, that's not what you would draw in terms of the breast representation. So that's kind of weird, but hey, maybe it was just less thought put into it. And then you have Donald J. Trump written at the bottom, typed at the bottom, and then his signature scrawled at the bottom as if to represent pubic hair. So this is all really weird, but ostensibly this appears to be bona fide, that the claims from the Wall Street Journal article were indeed true, which means if that is the case, JD Vance needs some explaining for his claims that this was absolute BS, and Donald Trump needs obviously some explaining to do, given that he denied it and is taking, I don't know what the outcome or where that had got to, but there were claims of him taking the Wall Street Journal or News Corp to court. So what's going to happen from here, I don't know. But the Epstein scandal does not go away, despite how many distractions Donald Trump tries to throw at media, at his electorate. It is not going away, and this will set, no doubt, media on fire. All the major mainstream news channels are showing this, as far as I can see from the socials at least, and I'm sure this is all people are going to be talking about tomorrow. Now, if you remember, this was what someone thought it might look like given the descriptions, and so this was like an artist's impression, thinking, well, that's how I would draw a fully developed naked woman, and yet that's how Donald Trump supposedly drew it. So that's interesting. Now, then we had this, not then, but this was one of Trump's denials, where he basically says, I don't even know what they're talking about. Somebody could have written a letter and used my name. The internet is not liking me tonight.
To the island.
You maintain you did not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday?
I don't even know what they're talking about. Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. Or to the island.
You maintain you did
Somebody could have written a letter and used my name. Obviously, he was lying there, to the point where Mehdi Hassan now says, look, one, remember how Trump threatened to sue the Journal over this? Two, at what point do reporters start saying, we don't believe anything Trump says or denies to us? Shouldn't the default position at this point be he's lying unless proven otherwise? I mean, come on. So I think that is on point, because Donald Trump has a proven track record for lying extensively. Think about Trump 1.0, when he said around 40,000 lies, as I think recorded by the Washington Post. Yeah, but it gets worse. So you think that was bad, and that is bad. Then there's this. So apparently in the book as well is this image and a scrawled note below. So this is for his birthday book as well. So Epstein's birthday book shows him and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member joking about selling a fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,500. As Republicans Against Trump says, we've only just begun to understand Trump's ties to Epstein. Release of files. So if we just zoom in on here, we have an image with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. I don't think that's Trump there, but a friend of Epstein's, obviously. And signature of Donald J. Trump, or what their representation of it is. And paid to Jeffrey Epstein. So the text underneath says Jeffrey showing early talents with money and women, ! Sells quote fully depreciated, and then someone's name has been blanked out to protect the survivor there, to Donald Trump for $22,500. Showed early open quotes people skills. 2, even though I handled the deal, I didn't get any of the money or the girl. I think that's what it says there. So the idea that they're selling girls here, that there's just exchange of females as objects, and this is happening between obviously the person talking here and Epstein, but claiming it's happening between Trump and Epstein, that Trump is paying Epstein for a girl, and there's a massive cardboard check for $22,500. Just incredible. This is absolutely incredible. And it's a bad day for Trump, because he then hears also that judges have rejected his desperate claim that the Supreme Court's immunity decision shields him from liability to E. Jean Carroll's $83 million judgment, or the court case where the judgment is he owes $83 million, and that still stands. So he's going to have to pay $83 million, although he's made so much money on crypto recently, I'm sure he can afford it now much more easily. But more problematic from an electoral point of view, from a scandal point of view, are these two images that have come out. Absolutely incredible. Donald Trump should be in heaps of trouble here. I mean, to be honest, like, he shouldn't even be president, because he's a convicted felon and he's been found guilty, liable in a court of law for sexual abuse, and yet he still gets to become president. And now this is going to be added to that and compounding many people's views of him already. Now the question is, what will this do to his base? Some of his base are, very much MAGA, but very much wanting the Epstein files to be released, and they're starting to get rather disenchanted because it looks like Donald Trump and his administration is trying to cover up the Epstein files. And then this coming out, which way does this send some of his, or maybe many of his keenest supporters? This is an absolutely incredible story, and I thought I'd better discuss it with you. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.